the iconic one is real. Of course, Kid Cash 2324 or Kid Cash 23, whichever is showing up. And I want to talk to you guys about Stardew Valley versus Harvest Moon. Now, of course, a lot of people who are hardcore gamers don't look at farming simulation type games as fun. On the other hand, I actually do. Now the thing about it is that I'm playing Stardew Valley at the moment, and I do play Harvest Moon Back to Nature on the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2 It's a Wonderful Life Collector's Edition, and any other Harvest Moon games for any system. I do have some for the DS, I do have some for the PlayStation 1, for the PlayStation 2, for the Super Nintendo when they first came out with the first Harvest Moon. And I gotta say, Stardew Valley is a great game. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really solid made game. I do have a few gripes about it, and I will be talking about that in this video. I'm not gonna. I mean, even though I'm in the summer of the 25th, it doesn't really matter. But what I've seen from both games, as I pause, is this. The fishing in Stardew Valley is a lot more difficult than the fishing in Harvest Moon. I'm not sure why I've only caught one fish, to be honest, and I've caught a lot of seaweed and other stuff that's basically in the ocean, and so therefore I'm going to have some problems probably trying to get all the fishes in order to continue to do, other stuff in the game, of course. Other than that, like I said, Harvest Moon has easier fishing in a sense, but I'm gonna use Harvest Moon Back to Nature for the PlayStation 1 as the, I guess you can say as the measurement on things. I mean, graphic-wise, Stardew Valley is nice. Harvest Moon, I think, takes it up a notch. Even though it's a PlayStation 1 title, you can at least see the characters that are slightly larger than what Stardew Valley offers. So I have to give the edge on the size of the character, the main character who you play, of course, a plus. But Stardew gets a point on that also because you can also play not only as a boy, but as a female. You can play as a girl, as a farmer. So therefore, both sides get a point. I cannot deduct a point because I do like Harvest Moon, but I also do like Stardew Valley. Graphic-wise, it's pretty much a toss-up of what you actually like. Stardew Valley does take a lot of graphics, and the trees look pretty good. The land looks pretty good. The problem is that I think when it comes down to it, Harvest Moon again takes it for the reason that since it's a top-down view instead of a regular side type view, you can actually build the farm better than you could in Stardew Valley. Not to take anything away once again from Stardew Valley, but the problem is in Harvest Moon you have those power berries that add more power to you, more strength, more endurance. On the other hand, Stardew Valley does not have it, or I have not seen it yet, if they do have power berries of any sort. So right there, Harvest Moon gets a point. Stardew Valley loses a point. I kind of do like though the energy bar for Stardew Valley, because at least you are able to see how much energy you really have. When it comes down to Harvest Moon, if he falls down or he wipes his head with a handkerchief or whatever, that's showing you that he's losing power. So they both have pretty decent things. I do like the energy bar a little bit more. Again, like I said, it's a personal preference, but I think Harvest Moon takes it there also. When it comes to characters, Stardew Valley shines. Many different characters, many different interests for love, or romance, or friendship, or whatever you are looking for. They have a lot of really cool females in the game, but Harvest Moon also has a lot of good females in the game also. The thing is, Stardew Valley does give you a little bit more. They give you 12 love interests, 6 women, 6 men, and basically there you can basically marry whoever you want. Harvest Moon, basically you're playing as a guy, you can marry whoever you want also, but not really. Only the it's only in Harvest Moon is only a marriage between a man and a woman. So therefore, Stardew Valley gets to the point for being more open-minded to relationships. Now next is basically the fun factor. Stardew Valley is fun. And the thing that's funny about it is that the Harvest Moon does not have the fun that Stardew Valley has. Stardew Valley has a ton of fun. It's a fun game. You get to really meet interesting characters in the game, and you know how it starts out is not what I would like. Harvest Moon has a better start, but Stardew Valley makes up for it for having an incredible cast of characters, and it actually makes farming fun, which Harvest Moon doesn't really make it that much fun because you have, what is that, about 2-3 years in order to make the farm profitable. While Stardew Valley, you can continue 5, 10, 20, 100. There's a person who actually who has gone in the game, played it for over 150 years in the game. And his farm is like the most profitable one. He's got millions of dollars and all that stuff. For a person like me, I'm a hardcore gamer on certain games, casual gamer on others. I'm not gonna lie about that. But this game has actually caught me in a way that I can play from now until 4, 5, 6 a.m. And that's like 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours of nothing but this game, because this game has so much stuff to do. And on top of that, it is actually fun. The characters are great. My biggest gripe with Stardew Valley is that I would have rather marry Robin, who you meet in the beginning of the game, and she's a carpenter, which is kind of cool, you know. I mean, if you were able to marry her, then it would make the game easier because she would fix the house for free, you know. But of course, there are changes. You know, you have Emily, Abigail, Haley, Monroe, I think that's her name, Penny, and others that, you know, Leah, who basically are really good characters. They really make you feel like you're actually doing something important in a way when you build up the relationships and all. I've seen tips and tricks about befriending certain characters so you can get free items. I think that's possibly the key to the game. Just befriend as many people as you can. Make sure that their hearts go up, so then they'll send you gifts, and you can use the gifts for possibly the community center, which is one of the vocal points of the game. The community center, would you rebuild it back to its old look, or are you willing to basically join the Jaja Corporation and have them take that and make it into a warehouse, basically, with those Juminas that live there, or Jeminas, or whatever those little bug type things or glob type things are. Next, the sound, the music, basically. Stardew Valley, I gotta admit, I like getting the collector's edition. It came with a CD of just music. Harvest Moon has a decent sound, but it is, after a while, it gets kind of generic in a sense. The one on Stardew Valley, every season you have a different song. Certain events you have a different song. It takes me back to last night when I was playing. That Abigail and the main character that I'm using, who I call Junior because I'm a junior. You know, one of them was playing like some sort of flute, and the other one was playing a harp, and you know, they shared a moment there where the music was actually cool. The festivals are, on both sides, are good. I mean, I do like the Tomato Fight Festival in Harvest Moon. But Stardew Valley's festivals are also quite lively and kind of cool also at the same time. Although, I have to say that the governor of Stardew Valley looks a hell of a lot closer to the taste tester from the food festival in Harvest Moon. Maybe not by size, but how they dress. Which kind of was purple which was kind of scary in a way, you know. But like I said, both sides have festivals, both sides have people's birthdays. The thing that Harvest Moon has on top of that is Harvest Moon gives you the calendar. In Stardew Valley, you have to buy the calendar, which for 2,000 gold doesn't seem like that great of an investment if you're like me, who only has 9,372 gold, and this is my first year in the summer where I'm trying to actually get the house extended before the end of the summer. So I'm looking at $10,000, and I already have the 500 pieces of wood. Now with Stardew Valley, you get to fight insects and globs and hard-rocked insects in the mineral mines, in the to where you get your ore and stuff like that. I find that annoying, and the only reason I find it annoying is because when those worms turn into wasps or flies or whatever they are that fly around, they become a nuisance, to the point where you're going to be losing a ton of life, no matter how good you are or how good your weapon is. Of course, as you go up in level, that will change. But I find that one creature to be the biggest nuisance of them all. The globs are pains. The hard rock shelled insects are painful. But those flying things are worse. You know, I mean, Harvest Moon doesn't have the fighting thing, which I'm actually okay with, because when I'm mining for ore, I want to be left alone while I'm mining for ore. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder like, oh, there's a bad guy. If I break that piece of rock, he's gonna try to get to me, and then I have to pull out my sword and slash him, and trash him, basically. So when it comes to the whole mining of the ore, I have to say Harvest Moon takes it. I don't want to be looking over my back having to deal with, oh look, it's the blob, or some weird flying insect that looks like probably like a bee, or butterfly bee conglomerate weird looking thing. So again, Harvest Moon takes a point, Stardew Valley has points, Harvest Moon has points. My personal favorite would have to possibly be Harvest Moon, because I did grow up with that game. But I have to say, Stardew Valley is changing my mind. Stardew Valley is a well thought out game. The problems is the fishing. The foraging is kind of hit and miss, because on some days things don't really grow back that quickly. Harvest Moon, every day you can forage, and it's kind of easy, but the thing is, it gets repetitive after a while. When it comes to characters, I think Stardew Valley actually takes it, because Stardew Valley has a lot of good characters, and on top of that, as you start to build relationships with those characters, you get gifts. Harvest Moon, the only gift you ever got was if you were able to get Potpourri up in the heart color. She would give you a little baby chick that you would, if you were to name after her, would give her a bunch more points on her heart level. Or during the Christmas festival, when women would make chocolates for the guy that they like, you would need blue or higher in order to get a chocolate bar, or red in order to get a chocolate cake. But then again, in Stardew Valley, you give presents out to the mayor, to Linus, who lives in the hills in his little tent. Homelessness in this game, I can't believe a video game with homelessness. But you befriend these characters, they give you stuff, and then that stuff you can use for your own personal gain, or maybe for a quest of some sort that you are trying to finish. I think that the quests that deal with Clint are broken, because I've tried them and I was never able to beat them. Basically, they were like failed quests. Don't know why, maybe I made a minor mistake or something, but whatever the case may be, I still believe Stardew Valley, the characters are awesome. Because if you look at the characters, compare, let's just take the female love interest, because I'm not going to do the guy interest, but let's just do the female interest. In Harvest Moon, you have Anne, Karen, Elle, Mary, and Poppery. Poppery is your basic pink-haired ditz, and is a tomboy who can actually cook. Karen is a cute girl who burns water. Mary is a bookworm who works at the library. And last but not least, Elle or Ellen, I don't remember her name correctly. She works in the doctor's office. Okay, cool. 5 women. Usually the pick would always go with Karen, but the problem is she can't cook. So you might as well take Anne, who's a tomboy. Or if you love the ditzy women, Poppery is your choice. Or if you like the bookworm, Mary Ellen, who works in the doctor's office. Excuse me. Now, in Stardew Valley, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 6 different women that you can woo all over. You know, you have sisters of Emily and Haley. Haley is the blonde-haired ditz. Emily is a free spirit. She's more like one of those people from the old days, you know, hey man, groovy. That's how I kind of see her. But she's more of an outgoing spirit, you know. She's really kind of cool. Penny lives with her mother, who's a drunk, Pam. You know, so Penny works as a school teacher, or as a teacher for just 2 kids, which is Jas and Max, I believe is his name. So Penny is a teacher. She has a mother who's always drunk, basically. And if you want to get on Pam's good side, just feed her beer and she'll be happy. Penny, on the other hand, you know, she's nice, you know, but she's in this situation where she lives in a trailer with her mother, and the only thing she's doing is teaching 2 kids 2nd grade stuff. Next you have Abigail. Abigail is the daughter of Pierre, store owner of Pierre's. Abigail is a strange girl. She, I believe, is the daughter of the magician in the forest, basically, Asmodeus or Rasmodeus, whatever his name is. I have a feeling that she is the daughter of him, because there are too many similarities there. And the one thing I find extremely weird about Abigail is if you give her auriculum, she eats auriculum. I really don't know what to say about that. But auriculum, come on, that's a mineral right there. That's a precious mineral right there. And yet she eats it. I mean, oh, don't mind about my character. My character has a bow on his hair because that was one of the first hats I was able to buy. So I thought, what the hell, you know, put it on him. I'm gonna pause one more time. Okay, so Abigail is strange. It's very strange. So that's okay. Monroe, she works in the doctor's office. She is a mixed character, I believe mixed race. She's okay. I don't really find her, like, if you play the game and you're trying to, like, base the game that's your life, it's basically what you like. I don't find Monroe that attractive at all. I mean, this doesn't strike me as a character that you would want to actually really be with. Last but not least, that's Leah, who lives in the woods right next to the poultry cow farm, with pigs in the farm too. She's actually a really cool character, and I really think that when Stardew Valley created the character, they were really looking for something different. Because though she's a well-made character, she's pretty, she has an artistic side, and I think that's what really shines, and you really get to know her on a more deeper level than Groovy Emily or Ditzy Haley. But I think Leah, for me, is the character I would actually want to really, you know, marry in the game and talk with and give presents to, because she is a lot deeper than others. I mean, her artist, she's artistic. Her art speaks for herself. And the thing is, I'm kind of interested and engaging with her more than any of the others. Even though me and Emily are pretty much close, I'll show you the heart level right now. Right there, Emily, just 1 star, 1 heart away from those weirded shaded hearts. Haley, I'm just 1 star under. Leah, she's got 5. Abigail's got 5. Penny has 4. And then basically everybody else has either 2 or 1. And basically, you kind of start quickly with Robin because Robin gives you a heart just for getting to know you. But it looks like our good friend, the mayor, doesn't give a flying about me. I had to censor that because I don't think cursing on YouTube would be a good idea. You know, but like I said, when it comes down to it, Leah is, I think, the most likable one of them all. Abigail, like I said, she's strange, but she's okay also. I prefer women with long hair, not short hair. And I prefer the women that I actually find much more engaging and easier to talk to. That's why Maru is all the way on the bottom with no stars, because I don't want to talk to her. And then the male characters who are also marriage, Elliot or Alex, Sebastian, Sam, Shane, Harvey. You know, that's for, I would say, if you're into the same sexual relationships, you know, you could do a boy character who marries another guy, so guy and guy. You do guy and girl, girl on girl. It's basically, this game gives you options to do whatever you really want when it comes marriage-wise. Harvest Moon, it's just man, woman, that's it. I don't discriminate against any orientation that you are. I say more power to you, and I respect all people, all sexual orientations, all colors, creeds, all of that. I respect everyone. I would never basically down anybody, because if you down somebody, you're downing yourself also. So why the hatred, basically, you know? So I mean, this game kind of really opens up the spectrum. Basically, you can have whatever relationship you want, you know. So Stardew Valley gets a lot of things right. Harvest Moon has a lot of things that they consider right. But like I said, if the fishing was like Harvest Moon and the mining was like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley would be a perfect 10. Now, I'm going to rate this game against Harvest Moon Back to Nature for the PlayStation 1. Consider that Stardew Valley is a PlayStation 4 game. Okay? So we have to consider all those facts when I come up to my consensus. Harvest Moon Back to Nature for the PlayStation 1 gets my seal of approval and a 9 out of 10. Stardew Valley, a seal of approval also, an 8.5 out of 10. I would also say that other than if you're into these type of farming simulations, Harvest Moon series, there's a lot of Harvest Moon games for the DS, for the PSP, for the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, and possibly later on PlayStation 4 will probably get a Harvest Moon Back to Nature, a Harvest Moon game, or you can basically play Innocent Life, which is a futuristic Harvest Moon. I recommend that game. It also gets my seal of approval, and I do give those games a 9. Stardew Valley, I'm still in the game, and I still play the game, so I might end up changing my rating from an 8.5. It might go higher, it might go lower, but it's because I can say what I don't like about the game, but I do love the game. Um, Starting possibly next week on my channel, I will be doing probably a few shows of the new WWE 2K19 video game, which comes out this Friday for our pre-order early access guys like me, or next Tuesday for everyone else. I am going to get the deluxe edition. I was hoping to get the Ric Flair edition actually, but I was kind of late to that party, so I'm in the deluxe edition. So here's the cool thing. I'm going to start possibly doing videos once the roster and the community begins to create people that are not in the game that I actually could use in order to build a second, a third brand possibly. Me and my friend were planning to do 3 brands apiece. I'm planning to do, of course, Monday Night Raw, NXT, and I'm going to create the ESW brand, which I use as a minor league brand for SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 with people who I didn't want on the roster but wanted them in a capacity. My friend will be he will be creating Ring of Honor. He'll have SmackDown Live, and he'll also have, I believe, WCW. So 6 days of wrestling, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and possibly the women will always get what we decide, and that's we believe that the women should have pay-per-views just by themselves, just like they're doing for the first time ever WWE with Evolution. Although I would like to say that's a great idea. Too bad it's so late, because I've been doing that in the video game for a few years already, and I feel like, that idea, it's not new for people who've actually played the game and have done that already. Of course, the WWE wants to take. They want to think that, oh, these ideas, we're coming up with them for the first time. Yeah, but people who play the games are the ones who come up with those ideas first. I was doing women's pay-per-view from the first SmackDown versus Raw, or Here Comes the Pain, where you had to just create a bunch of women, or one of the games, as they started to pick up the women's division, you were able to actually fulfill pay-per-views with nothing but women. The WWE, if they were smarter, they would have at least 30 to 40 women on the roster. And I mean, bring up everybody from NXT, because people like Dakota Kai, who is also known as Evie, is a fantastic wrestler when she was in the Independents. She's also a fantastic wrestler in NXT. Bianca Belair, I have a problem with her because she thinks she's all that, and I'm sorry, but you're not. If you think you're all that, you're basically all crap. Lacey Evans, part of the Marines, I respect her. I think she's a really solid wrestler. Aaliyah, I believe is a good wrestler. She nearly did. In fact, if you were to watch an old SmackDown, watch Carmella's debut when she faced Aaliyah. Aaliyah would have beaten her if it wasn't for James Ellsworth. So Aaliyah would have actually defeated Carmella if it wasn't for Ellsworth, because Aaliyah was really good in that match. Kairi Sane, she's a decent female superstar. I think that there's a lot of potential and a big upside for her. Shayna Baszler, I gotta say this, I don't like the UFC women at all. Because just because you lose, you have to come to the WWE because you think your name is big. I'm sorry, but Ronda Rousey, you are not a big name. You got your ass kicked twice, back-to-back matches in the UFC. You ended your career 10-2. That's not legendary. That is not a legend either. You ran away with your tail between your legs because you couldn't hack it anymore in the UFC. Therefore, you had to come to my WWE, and then you had to screw Alexa Bliss out of her title. Shayna Baszler, again, a woman who basically doesn't want to work with the rules. If you don't want to work with the rules, then get the fuck out. Go back to UFC. Go back to MMA, where there are no rules and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know? Take Jessamine Duke and the other chick with you. You know what, UFC? Go back. That also includes Brock Lesnar, who is basically a waste of money and a waste of space. Go back. Bobby Lashley, I wish they had better storylines for you, but if anything, go back to MMA. Continue your career over there. Because you have a better chance of getting fights, championships there than what's happening here. Because the WWE is a one-trick pony. Let's all love Roman Reigns. No, 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 no. Fuck Roman Reigns. You know? The Shield is basically already getting old. We do not like Roman Reigns. What is it so hard to understand, WWE? What is it so hard to understand, Vince? We do not like Roman Reigns. Just because he's sucking Vince's dick doesn't mean he has to be the poster boy for the WWE. Cena was the poster boy. We got sick of him. So we started to say, let's go Cena. Cena sucks, right? We have the same saying. Let's go Roman. Roman sucks. And Roman can't wrestle. You think a Samoan drop is a wrestling move? It's just a fireman carry drop. That's all it is. Oh, look, I pick him up and I drop him on the ground. Oh, spear. His spear is so damn weak. Hell, if I was a wrestler and they wanted me to get speared and take the 3 count, no. Sorry, Vince. I would kick out every freaking time. Because his spear compared to Goldberg, compared to the Rated R Superstar Edge, compared to any other wrestler who had a spear as a finisher, did it better and it hit even harder. Even Caitlyn's spear, when she hit Eve Torres with it, was even more powerful than Roman Reigns' cheap spear. Also, while I'm on the wrestling thing now, tirade while I'm playing Stardew Valley, we need new storylines. We need new champions. We need a youth movement, basically. I don't want to see Roman as a Universal Champion. I don't even want the Universal Championship anymore. I want a title that actually looks like a title and doesn't look like a belt that was covered with Pez and Twizzlers on it. And what I mean by that is that I wanted the World Heavyweight Championship brought back with maybe a new look, WWE branding on it, World Heavyweight title. The Women's Championship, which is the miniature Universal title, that has to go also. I think a women's title should look like a women's title, not some stupid looking title with a Pez dispenser and Twizzlers on it. Tag team titles are the only things that I still feel are the dumbest looking titles ever. I think the old-fashioned WWE and World Heavyweight Tag Team titles were the best looking ones. Cruiserweight, garbage title. Bring back the original Cruiserweight title, I think. I mean, I understand that WWE wants to make everything a worldwide brand and they want to brand the titles, but a lot of their titles look like children titles. You know, plastic, cheap, garbage. The only titles that actually look pretty good is, of course, the WWE title on SmackDown, which was on Raw, but then was moved to SmackDown because of Ambrose. The Intercontinental and United States titles, I'm still okay with those because they haven't changed so far. Thank God. But some of these titles, like the Women's Championship on SmackDown, really, I mean, if you're gonna bring a women's title, you know, you can do the red and blue thing, but just have them say women's title, not just the big WWE and it's a women's title no matter what, which is, you know, I feel like the WWE has gotten way out of where they used to be. NXT has really nice titles. You know, they have really cool titles. All four of them are really cool looking. The UK title's cool. But like I said, WWE has to really step up and grow a pair, basically, because so far when you have people like your daughter Stephanie McMahon or your son Shane in charge, those are idiots. Triple H is a genius. He's the one who made NXT what it is today. So therefore, if anybody should be in charge, it should be Triple H, hands down, because he's a visionary, and he looks towards the future. He's the one who made women's wrestling valid against Vince. Um, but like I said, I will be getting that game 2K19. I will see how it is, and I will have a rating for the game once I actually get the game. I understand other people have done ratings because they got the game ahead of time because they are bigger YouTube people than I am. I'm just a person who does these videos. I don't show my face until I actually have to. But I will be doing a rating on WWE 2K19. Like I said, 2K18 from me got a 7 out of a 10. I think it was good, but they could have done a whole lot better. My biggest gripe with these games is repeating the same superstar over and over and over again in the roster. I don't need 4 Mick Foleys. I just need one with different attire. That's all I need. I don't need 2 Bret the Hitman Harts, one from WCW, one from WWE. I don't need that. I don't need 17 Undertakers. One Undertaker. You can alter the ratings with a different attire because we have that technology, you know. And I want more people from NXT. I mean, what happened with Tommaso Ciampa? I mean, ain't he supposed to be in the game? Nikki Cross, ain't she supposed to be in the game? Money. It's always about money. These guys are low-level wrestlers. They are in NXT. You give them $25,000 and they should basically be jumping for joy that they're going to be in the game, because after the $25,000 there's something called commission, and they will get little bits of money for all the copies that are sold. I just believe, and this is going to be my big thing, 2K should no longer have the WWE license. I think ever since 2K took it over from THQ, 2K has been screwing up the game worse and more. The worst wrestling game was WWE 2K15 with John Cena on the cover. That was the worst wrestling game ever. It was even worse than TNA Impact Wrestling, the video game. The best wrestling game in the series was not a 2K game. It was a THQ game, and it was WWE 12 with Randy Orton on the cover. Why? Because they had the Trish Stratus that was updated with the brunette hair instead of the blonde, and the roster was really good, and the community was in it. Lately, the community has been dying down little by little. You know? We need the community to step up once again. Rise up. Put the best creations you've got, because I know people will give you 5 stars. We will comment that this creation is awesome and I love it, and that's why I downloaded it. I downloaded a lot of creations this year, and I gotta say, a lot of them were under expectations. Velvet Sky, garbage. Angelina Love, garbage. Madison Rain, garbage. The list goes on and on. Luckily, those women were not on my brand, they were on my friend's brand. But the creations could have been a hell of a lot better. So guys who are part of the 2K19 Nation, please help not only myself, but other people who are creators. Let's make this community the best it can be, because we already know that the game is promising things that will never happen. I would say this to all wrestling fans. I would say get 2K19. Even if you feel like you want to quit the game, get 2K19, try it out. Get 2K20, try it out. If after 2K20 the wrestling games are not improving, there are two options. 2K, get rid of the license. Let Sony Computer Entertainment of America take the license, because they make the greatest baseball game there is on Sony, which is of course MLB The Show. They can possibly do a wrestling game that's even better. Or option number 2, if 2K continues with the license, do what I'm gonna do. After 2K20, I'm done. I'm retiring from the game, and I'm not gonna buy the game anymore. There are better games out there that I have missed out because of this freaking game. There were birthdays that I was lucky enough to get the wrestling game and possibly Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, or Star Ocean till the end of time. Games that actually have high ratings. The wrestling game every single year is rated by Metacritic and by other magazines, and they give them ratings that are fair. 2K18, I believe on Metacritic, got a lower than 80. On, I believe, Game Informer, they low rated the game also. I feel that 2K has overstayed their welcome doing the WWE game. So this is a message from my lifelong wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling since 85, since I was 2 years old. So I want to say this. 2K, you guys make good basketball games. Some of the best. Why can't you do that for a wrestling game? A wrestling game's IP is as important as your NBA 2K IP. If you can make 2K such a great and enjoyable game, why can't you do the same for the WWE games? I mean, you have the intellectual property, you have the license, you should be able to do better than what you really do. I mean, Sony Computer Entertainment of America, Sony, SCEA, make the best baseball game in the world. MLB The Show. Although it's kind of easy to hit home runs, but whatever. MLB The Show has been a staple for Sony when it comes to baseball. Better than MVP Baseball. That's why MVP Baseball was only around for like 2003, 4, and 2005. Better than that MLB game that they came out, that really wasn't good. So that's why, I mean, therefore I feel that Sony should take over the WWE license, because I think they can give us everything that the trailer shows and promise everything that we really want. Because when it comes down to it, 2K, you do not listen to your fans. You say you do, but you don't. You only care about one line, and that's the profit line. That's all you give a damn about. You don't care how many bugs the game has or how sucky the game might be. You only give a damn about lining your pockets with money and basically just not dealing with the fans. I'm a fan. There are many people on YouTube who are WWE fans, and we want the game to succeed. But you continue to give us the same garbage year after year with just a few extra tweaks, a few new wrestlers. You know, this year you had a lot of ambition. When we saw the trailer, we saw the Bray Wyatt compound, the House of Horrors. We saw the House of Horrors on fire, you know, fighting around it, in it, whatever. And yet, you cannot light the house on fire. You cannot fight in the house. You do not have weapons. I mean, I've seen the early reviews from other gamers. The House of Horrors is more like a House of Horrors because it sucks. It's horrible. Come on, 2K, wake up. Smell the coffee. Stop thinking about money. Start thinking about the people who actually buy these games and who have suggestions. Because if you don't listen to us, drop the license. Let somebody else pick it up. Because then maybe those people will actually listen to us. THQ listened. THQ try to continue to make the game better, and they did, because WWE 2K, WWE 12 was and is possibly one of the best wrestling games since the SmackDown vs. Raw series. And SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 was, I believe, the best SmackDown vs. Raw ever. Compared to, of course, the original SmackDown vs. Raw, or even Here Comes the Pain. So 2K, wake up. Smell the coffee. Stop thinking about money. Start thinking about your fans, the people who actually buy the game. Because if we continue to get the same half-assed product every single year, because I'm going to buy 2K19, I want to see what type of improvements are. But if you continue to shove the same crap down our throat like Vince does with Roman Reigns, it's going to get to the point where we say 2K sucks. And there will be a point where people who are wrestling fans will no longer buy your games, which means that you will be saturating the market with video games, but you will be also saturating your losses. 2 more chances, 2K. 2 more chances for me. And I would advise everybody to just give the game a chance. But in all truthfulness, if you continue to push crap down our throat, we'll be able to take that crap and push it right back down your throats instead. Anyway, once again, Stardew Valley, 8.5 out of 10. Back to Nature, Harvest Moon, 9 out of 10. And we'll see what 2K19 has in store for us on Friday. Everybody, my name is The Icon, or The Iconic One, or just the Kid Cash name that's on YouTube. I want to wish you a blessed day. Hopefully, everybody is having a great day. Today is, of course, Tuesday, going to Wednesday. And I want to just thank anybody who actually has seen this video and who comments. If anything, you know, let's be cool, you know. Thumbs up, leave a comment, or thumb down if you don't like the video. Subscribe to my channel, because my channel will be coming back in full force next week or the week after, once the community starts to pick it up. And I will have more video game talk about ratings and stuff like that. This week I will actually have to say this. I am recommending Yakuza Kiwame and Yakuza Kiwame 2. These are the first 2 games on the PlayStation 4 of the Yakuza series, and these are the first remakes of the first and second game that were released on the PlayStation 2. These games have been upgraded with graphics. They have also been given a lot of more mini games, and the game itself has a great storyline from 1 to 2. I do recommend for everybody, if you do purchase Yakuza and Yakuza Kiwame, if you do purchase Yakuza Kiwame and Yakuza Kiwame number 2, I would advise you to forget about Amazon and buy from eBay, because eBay always has great prices. And I would like to give them a big shout out, because I was able to get Stardew Valley and Assassin's Creed Syndicate for very good prices, brand spanking new. So eBay, I want to thank you for always being around, and I want to thank the sellers on eBay, who are, some of them are more understanding, and they are willing to give you a better deal. So again, eBay, not Amazon. Although I will say, Mr. Bezos, I think you're a smart individual. I do like your Amazon store, but your prices have to be better, and they cannot just be for the people who are part of Prime. Because I would like to buy things from Amazon, but I am not a Prime member, and I think by giving the Prime members a better price, it's going to hurt your business in the long run, because not everybody wants to pay $119 for a year of Prime just because you can see a few movies here and there. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Crackle, I have Popcorn Flicks, I have Snack Phones. I've got a bunch of streaming devices, streaming services that I can watch whatever I want. If you can give us new movies the same day they hit DVD, then it's worth it. Anyway guys, peace out. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great month. This is of course October, the month of mischief when it comes to Halloween. So guys, this is the Iconic One signing off. And remember, Peyton Royce is the choice. Peace out.